amazing day or night. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little book collection of my childhood books. I actually completely forgot I had these. I was getting all my Christmas stuff out since it's December now to decorate my house, and I just happened to find a bag full of my old school books, and half of them are by one author and half of them are by another author. The first author is Jacqueline Wilson, which you probably heard of, Tracy B. That thing. I have a ton of her books, and I also have some Rainbow Magic books. So you might get some nostalgia from this video while also getting tingles. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the collection. So the first Rainbow Magic book I have is Ashley the Dragon Fairy, and if you don't know what the Rainbow Magic books are, the author made there's hundreds of these books, and as you can see, each fairy kind of comes from a section. So you've got the Rainbow Fairy, so there's like Ruby the Red Fairy, Amber the Orange Fairy, the Yellow Fairy, Green Fairy, so on. But they've also got other fairies. They've got Weather Fairies, Party Fairies, Jewel Fairies, Pet Keeper Fairies, Fun Day Fairies, the Petal Fairies, and there's so many. I can't even count. There's so many categories out there. But this one, it tells you which category they're all from on the rainbow. This one's from the Magical Animal Fairy. So yeah, she's got a dragon, so she's the dragon fairy, and they're quite small books because they are for children, and they are picture books. They've got pictures inside the books as well, and that is the first one. The second one I have, this was one of my favourites. I think I just liked the cover, and I was just obsessed with pink, obviously, is Chrissy the Wish Fairy. This one's quite a Christmassy one because it's about Christmas, and this one doesn't say what theme of fairy she's from, but it does have 3 stories in one. So yeah, moving on to the next one. I think this is the last one I ever bought before I just stopped reading these. Is Selena the Sleepover Fairy. And this is also 3 stories in one. There's literally anything you can think of. There's probably a fairy for it, like a sleepover fairy. Like, that's just so random. Basically coming apart. It's Kylie the Carnival Fairy. This is another, the ones that are shiny are a little bit thicker because they're actually 3 stories in one. just so random. Like, there's literally a fairy for the light that shines off the moon. A moon. Like, it's just so random. But this one, she's from the Twilight Fairies. So let's see if the section Twilight Fairies. Oh, the Twilight Fairies are not in this. Oh, yeah. These books are so thin that I could probably finish a couple of these in one day. Literally one day. Yeah. The next one I have is from the Pet Keeper Fairy, and the Pet Keeper Fairies is Lauren the Puppy Fairy, and this was also one of my favourites because I just loved her style, and she's the puppy fairy. She's got the best job in the world. The next one I have is one of the first ones the author made because she made the coloured fairies first, is Ruby the Red Fairy, and she comes first because she's red, and red's the first colour in the rainbow. But even at the back it shows all the other fairies that are in the category. So she's from the colour or the rainbow fairies, or the colour fairies, something like that. To the next Rainbow Fairy book, we have Sadie the Saxophone Fairy. So there was also music fairies. Let's see if the music fairies are in it. Okay, they're not, but there's a saxophone fairy, which is this one. There's a I don't know what that is. There's a harp fairy, violin fairy, piano fairy, drums fairy, and flute fairy. Interesting. Next one is from the Magical Animal Fairies, and it's Caitlin the Ice Bear. So I obviously have the one from the another one from the Magical Animal Fairies, which was the dragon one that you guys saw. But yeah, the next one is Lacey the Mermaid Fairy, which is from the Fairy Tale Fairies. This one's pretty cool. I like the colour. And the last Rainbow Fairy book, we have Amber the Orange Fairy. So we have Ruby the Red Fairy, and the second one is Amber the Orange Fairy. There's also Saffron the Yellow Fairy, Fern the Green Fairy, Sky the Blue Fairy, and Izzy the Indigo Fairy. So yeah, that's all the rainbow magic books that I have, and I'm gonna move on to the Jacqueline Wilson one because I have so many in that collection. So we're just gonna go in any random order. The first book I have by Jacqueline Wilson is Vicky Angel, and I'll probably just tell you a little bit about the book, but not a lot because then we'll be here forever. So this one is about two twins, as you can tell, Ruby and Garnet, and they have like the perfect life until their mum passes away, and they have to move to like the countryside with their dad and the dad's new girlfriend, and they don't like her, and it's just about their life. So yeah, that's this one. The next one I have is one of my favorites. I think I've read this like over 10 times. It's called Best Friends, and this one is about these two best friends, Alice with blonde hair and Gemma with spiky brown hair or short brown hair. Anyways, they're like best friends from birth, and then Alice moves away, like really far away, and it's about their friendship, but like their long distance friendship. This was definitely one of my favorites. The next book is called Little Darlings, and this is about a girl called Destiny and a girl called Sunset. Destiny lives with her mom and they're quite poor, and she doesn't know who her dad is, but then her mom tells her that her dad is this rock star, and this rock star has like a wife and kids, and she just doesn't feel like she fits in with them when she does meet her dad. And this is like pretty cool story. I do like this one as well. I might reread this one because I don't remember much about this book, but that's the plot of Little Darlings. Moving on to the next one is quite a small one. It's The Mum Minder, and it's a pretty short story. It's just about her name is Sadie and her mum's a childminder, but her mum gets sick, and then she basically helps her mum look after the kids and look after her mum, and pretty short story. The next book I have is called Dustbin Baby, and the girl's name is April, and it's about her growing up in an orphanage, and the only thing they have about her past is she was found in a dustbin as a baby. A dustbin outside a pizza restaurant, and it's just about her life, basically trying to find her real mom. A lot of her books, I realised, are really sad. Like there's a lot of death and sadness, but they are interesting. The next one I have is The Longest Whale Song. This one's a pretty sad one. This one got me quite emotional. It's about this girl, her name's Ella, and her mum goes into a coma, and it's just about her visiting her mum, and it's more it goes more into depth obviously, but it is pretty, it's pretty interesting. I just don't want to spoil it. The Longest Whale Song. The next one is called The Butterfly Club, but okay, sorry, I was just reading the back of it because I actually don't remember, but basically it's about Tina, and she's a triplet, and they do everything together, but when they start their new class, she's put into pairs with this other girl who's mean to her, and they have to do a project together. And yeah, it's a very basic story about her like having to like be friends with the bully and stuff, and not being with her sisters. But again, these are children books, so some of the books are not gonna have that interesting plots, but the ones that I said are good are definitely good. And I do have one favourite that I read a million times. Like I would finish the book oh wait, yeah, it's the next one. I would finish this book, and as soon as I finished the last page, I would reread it. Lily Alone, it's so good, and I would still read it today, and I'm 19 years old. But it's just so, you want to like keep reading it. And it's about Lily. She has 3 younger siblings, and she just hates being around people. She wants to be alone. And then her mum goes on vacay with her new boyfriend, abandons them, and the mum thinks they're alone with one of her siblings' dads or something. But then they kind of get him to not come round and like trick him to not come round. So then they're home alone and just look after them. And then like a whole bunch of drama happens. Like the school finds out they're home alone, and then as you can see, they have to like hide out. And if you want to know what happens at the end, I was so sad at the end. I was really sad at the end. Then read this book if you want to know. The next book I have is Lola Rose. It's about this girl and her mom and her baby brother starting their new life because they've run away from their abusive dad, and it's about their new life. And they have new identities, and her new name she chose was Lola Rose. And some of Jacqueline Wilson's books do say for older readers they are the better ones, because I was just more into them because the storylines were more interesting. But yeah, that's a good one. I like that one. The next one I have is the iconic Tracy B, the story of Tracy B. And what can I say? This is iconic because she got her own movie, she got her own show, then she got like another show which continued from the story of Tracy B to the dumping ground, to Tracy B returns to the dumping ground. And I already know that it's still been going on and there's still episodes coming out, but I don't watch it anymore. But anyways, the story of Tracy B. If you don't know who this is, you've been living under a rock. However, I don't know if Jacqueline Wilson books are big in another country or Tracy B. I feel like Tracy B. is more of a UK thing, but let me know if I'm wrong. But she's iconic because she got her own TV show. And then they made another book starring Tracy B. Which is just more about her life, like a little background story. Also, I didn't say what this one's about, but it's about Tracy B. the story of Tracy B. and her time living in a care home, waiting for her mum to come back and get her because she believed every day that her mum would come back for her. On to the next book. This is another one of my favourites. It's called The Worst Thing About My Sister. It's about what's her name? Does it say even? I think her name's Melissa. Yeah, Melissa's like the older sister and she's really girly, and the younger one is called Marty. Her name's Martina because she's like tomboy. She wants people to call her Marty. And anyways, they just don't get on until they have to share a room for some reason, and then it's just about them trying to get on because they already don't get on and now they have to share a room. So there's a lot of drama, and I think I really like this book because it really reminds me of me and my younger sister. But yeah, The Worst Thing About My Sister. The next book I have is called Candy Floss, and it's about this girl called Floss, and she lives with her mum, but her mum wants to go live in Australia with her new boyfriend, and she doesn't know whether to go with her mum to Australia or stay and move in with her dad. And then whoever she decides to go with, I won't say. It's just about her life with her parent that she goes with. And yeah, pretty cool book. And the next book is called Queenie, and this one, interestingly, I really liked because I didn't think I would, because it's set in 1953, but it's about this girl called Elsie who lives with her nan, and then her nan got sick, and then she got sick, so they were like in hospital, but they weren't together. And about her time in whatever they're called. So they've got like the hard book front covers. So these were a bit more, but this one's called Rent a Bridesmaid, and this one is basically about this girl called Tilly, and she's never been a bridesmaid and she wants to be, so she sets up a little business of her own, you know, gotta make that money, and she puts up an ad if anyone wants to hire a bridesmaid, or doesn't have anyone to be their bridesmaids, that they will pay her to basically be their bridesmaid. And what I like about this book is the two there are actually characters from The Worst Thing About My Sister. So it's kind of cool they put other characters in Melissa and Marty from another book. But yeah, this one's pretty alright. The next book I have is a pretty sad book actually. I felt sad reading it. It's about this girl called Katie, and she's got loads of siblings, and something happens to her. It's kind of based on that book, What Happened to Katie or something, and let's just say she misbehaves, and I think she becomes paralyzed. So it's about her like experience, like being stuck to a wheelchair, not being able to do crazy things that she used to love to do, and it's a very heartbreaking story, but I do like it. The next one is called Opal Plumstead, which is based in 1913, which is going far back. I do like this one. It's about suffragettes and just basically them back in the day, like trying to get equality for women and their votes and all that stuff. So of course I'm a feminist, so I like this book. Very interesting. And the last book I have is Paws and Whiskers, and this is by Jacqueline Wilson, but it also has loads of other stories from other authors, like a couple. So there's a couple stories in here, not just one main one, and it's in association with Battersea Dogs and